Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am your host, Vortex from MobileMusicPro.com, your home for mobile music production. And if you are new to the channel, what we do here is try to create weekly videos helping people to learn how to produce music. Our goal here is to try to get as many people producing music as possible, and the easiest, most accessible way to begin making music is on an iOS device. So if you do want to help us out on our mission, make sure to smash those likes, subscribe, and share out the show. Today is it, everybody. Today is the big day. Today we launch everything, including our website, Discord chat, and of course, the very first official Mobile Music Pro sample pack. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel because in just 1 hour, we will be doing our 1-year anniversary 2-hour live stream special where we will be giving away a bunch of copies of Cubasis 3. And if you aren't watching this live, definitely make sure to check out that video and hit us up in the comments. Now in today's video, we're going to be showing you how to install and use all of the iPad components of our very first essential sample pack. This pack was created in collaboration with Braille Audio, who has over 20 years of sound design and music production experience. So do make sure to stick around to the end of the video where we'll throw in just a few minutes of our recent interview with Blind on this channel. Now, if you do enjoy that and want to see the full interview, make sure to check out the links in the description below. Also, we did want to mention that this sample pack is just the very first of many more tools to come. In the future, we do plan to release additional tools such as templates, presets, and even full mobile music production courses. So if you are interested in this kind of stuff, then definitely make sure to check out our free mailing list at mobilemusicpro.com so you'll always be up to date with what we're doing. Alright, with that intro aside, let's get right into showing you how to install and use our very first essential sample pack. Alright, hello and welcome everybody. We are wishing you the happiest of the happiest from Mobile Music Pro to wherever you are in the world. Now you might be wondering at first and maybe asking yourself, why do I need to know how to install a sample pack? And well, we are creating this video because this sample pack was designed for iPad first, which means it was designed from the ground up to be useful to mobile music producers. So we do have our sounds already ready to go in several popular apps, including things like Cubasis 2, Cubasis 3, NanoStudio 2, and Beatmaker 3, and more. And we'd also like to remind you that in addition to this video, there will be an instruction file that comes with the sample pack, notating everything that we're showing you here in this video. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get started showing you how to import your samples into Beatmaker 3. Now the first thing we are going to do here is start out with the Files app. So again, this first step will be pretty much the first step for every single one of these installations that we're going to go through. So like we said, the first thing we are going to do here is locate our sample pack. And here we have our sample pack here, the MMP Essentials 1 General Purpose. So we'll browse that directory. And the folder that we're going to be paying attention to here for all of these installations is our iOS folder, because that is where all the files that we're going to be copying over to our iPad is located. So we'll tap on our iOS folder. And for this installation, we're going to locate our Beatmaker 3 folder here called Beatmaker 3 Kits. So we'll tap that. And in this folder, we will find our individual drum kits here, and we're going to copy all of these. So let's copy these by tapping on Select and checking each one of these folders one by one. And then we're going to go tap on More and tap on Copy. Now we're going to locate our Beatmaker 3 folder because there is a folder inside of there that we're going to copy these files to. So let's navigate to the On My iPad section underneath the locations here on the far left hand side. We'll tap on My iPad and we'll scroll down here to our Beatmaker 3 folder right here. We'll tap on our Beatmaker 3 folder, scroll down a bit more, and we're going to find the folder called Samples. We're going to browse that folder. So we'll paste our files here by long tapping and tapping on Paste. And this should just take just a quick second here, and we'll fast forward to the very end for you. Alright, as you can see, all of the files here have been copied into our Samples folder, which lives inside of our Beatmaker 3 folder. So now let's go ahead and open up Beatmaker 3. So we'll minimize out of this, go to our DAW folder here, and tap on Beatmaker 3. Now from here, we'll just go ahead and create a brand new session. And as you can see, we have a brand new blank session here. And what we want to do here is import all of our samples to our pads. So what we're going to do is tap our menu on the top left-hand corner. This will bring up our interface for browsing through all of our different banks, packs, and samples. And what we're going to do is tap the Documents icon at the top left-hand corner here, just to the right of the search. So we'll tap that once. And now what you see here, all of these different directories are the exact directories that we saw in the root of the Beatmaker 3 folder. And remember that we pasted all of our files inside of our samples folder. So we'll browse our samples folder here. And here is our 6 drum kits. And of course you can choose whichever one you'd like to load. So for this example, let's go ahead and load our hip hop kit. So we'll tap on hip hop kit, tap on that folder once more, and here is our 16 different pad sounds with our Beatmaker kit file. So let's go ahead and tap on this Beatmaker file now. And then at the bottom of the screen, tap Load Bank. And just like that, all 16 sounds of our hip hop drum pad kit have been loaded onto the pads. And of course now we can tap on any one of these pads. Just like that. And now you can repeat this process for any pack you'd like to load at any given time. And that's really how easy it is to begin importing your samples into Beatmaker 3. Okay, and now we're going to show you guys how to set up and install this sample pack inside of NanoStudio 2. So let's go ahead and dig into this. Just like before, we'll be starting out here with our sample pack directory. Now within this directory, as we mentioned, we do have an instructions file that you can browse at any time in case you don't want to sit through this whole video. And once again, we're going to navigate to our iOS folder, as that is the folder that is going to hold all of our components that we're going to copy over to our iPad. So we'll tap our iOS folder, and this time we're going to browse to our NanoStudio 2 kits folder. And what we're going to do is copy this single MMP folder here. So let's copy that by long tapping, and then tap on copy. Now we're going to locate our NanoStudio 2 folder on our iPad. So we'll tap on My iPad on the far left hand corner under Browse Locations. We'll scroll down here to NanoStudio 2. There we go. Let's tap on that. And within this folder, we're going to navigate to our Instruments folder. Now there really is only 2 main instruments here to choose from within NanoStudio 2, and that is Obsidian and Slate. Slate is their drum machine and Obsidian is their synthesizer. So since we are installing drum kits here, we're going to navigate to Slate, and we'll go to our user folder here, and this is where we're going to paste our folder. Now as you can see, we already do have a folder in here called iPad BM Trap, which is the folder for iPadBeatmaking.com's Trap Sample Kit, which I highly recommend, by the way, so definitely shout out to iPadBeatmaking.com. So let's go ahead and paste our folder here. We'll long tap just like before and tap on paste. And this again will just take a couple seconds here. We'll fast forward for you to the end. Alright, our MMP folder has been fully copied here inside of our user folder, inside of our NanoStudio 2 folder. We'll just go back to the root here. And now let's go ahead and open up NanoStudio 2. So we'll close out of this and tap on NanoStudio 2. This will just take a couple seconds to load. And then just like before, let's go ahead and create a new project. So we'll go to the icon in the top left hand corner and make sure we are on our project tab here, and let's tap new. We'll just name this MMP Kits and tap create. Now we have a fresh new project inside of NanoStudio 2. And what we're going to do is tap on our Slate track, so we'll double tap. And by default here, we are inside of our Kits tab here. We have a Kits tab and a Samples tab, but we're going to stay within the Kits tab for now. And the next step we have to do is choose our location. And you'll find the location right here in this drop-down. So if we tap this once, you can see we can choose from our locations of Recent, User, Factory, and In-App Purchases. But we're going to choose User on our location drop-down here. And now we're presented with those same 2 folders that we saw within that NanoStudio 2 folder. And we are going to choose MMP, of course, for Mobile Music Pro, so we'll tap on that. And here again is our general purpose sample pack here, so we'll double tap on that. And then finally here we are presented with our 6 different drum kits. And to load any one of these drum kits on our pads over here, just like within Beatmaker 3, all we have to do is tap on one. So let's go ahead and tap on our hip hop kit once again. And once that has been double tapped, you can see that that will load all 16 sounds into NanoStudio 2's Slate instrument. And we can quickly test that out here. Alright, very cool. It's just as simple as that. And at any given time, we can load any one of these kits into any one of our projects. So we can just double tap on the house kit if we'd like as well. And now our house kit sounds have been loaded. Alright, and that is all there is to it for NanoStudio 2, folks. Let's go ahead and move on to our next application. Alright, the next app that we do have supported on our list is iMPC Pro 2. Now, some of these apps might not be as popular as the others, but I do know that there are at least still a few people on each one of these different apps. So let's go ahead and look into our next one now, which again will be iMPC Pro 2. And once again, we are browsing our Mobile Music Pro Essentials Pack 1 directory. And just like before, we will locate our iOS folder here, as that is the folder that contains all of our iPad and iOS components here. So let's tap on our iOS folder, and we are going to navigate to the iMPC Pro 2Kits folder. So let's tap on the iMPC Pro folder. And now what we want to do is copy all of these files to the iMPC Pro folder on your iPad. So let's click on the select button here in the top right hand corner and select each one of these zip files here. And then we're going to tap on the More button at the bottom right hand corner and tap on Copy. And now let's navigate to our local iPad here by tapping on the On My iPad folder. And we're going to locate our iMPC Pro 2 folder here by scrolling down. And here we go, let's tap on that. And now here is where we're going to paste those files we just copied right here in the root of the iMPC Pro 2 folder. So let's long tap and then tap on Paste. This will just take a second, and now we're ready to go. We do have all 6 of our different kits here pasted, so we are ready to open up the program. So let's go ahead and open up the app iMPC Pro 2. We'll minimize out of this, navigate to our DAW folder again, and tap on iMPC Pro 2. And once the application opens, we are going to tap on the Import Project button on the bottom left-hand corner. So let's tap on that now. And right away you'll see that it did find all of our different files that we just copied. Because right here it will display pretty much all the zip files that you copy into the root of the iMPC Pro 2 folder. And we can tap on any one of these, of course, so let's just tap on the hip hop kit. So we'll tap once on that. And now right away, as you can see, the app has imported our hip hop kit template. And you can repeat this process with each one of these kits. So for now, let's just tap on our hip hop kit. And that'll just take a quick second to load here. And now let's make sure our sounds are here. So let's tap a few keys. Alright, perfect. The sounds have been loaded successfully. And you can always see which sounds were loaded by tapping on the tweak button at the bottom left-hand screen, and then tapping on the sounds button on the bottom right-hand screen. In addition to just changing the sounds, you can apply additional parameters by tapping on the Params button at the bottom right-hand corner, and then applying your various sound effects here on the far left-hand side of the screen. Alright, very easy guys, lemon squeezy. That is pretty much all there is to import your sounds into iMPC Pro 2. And of course, definitely guys, hit us up on our socials if you ever have any questions about any of these installation instructions. Alright, the next app we'll be talking about today is EG Pulse by Elliott Garage. Elliott Garage makes 2 different apps that we have presets for. The first is EG Pulse, and the second is EG Segments. Now there is one important thing to note here, and that is that if you do have Segments currently installed, before you do install our kits for EG Pulse, you will actually have to remove the Segments app. And then of course you can reinstall Segments right away after you're done installing these packs for EG Pulse. And so, since that is the case, we will be working with EG Pulse first before we install our presets for EG Segments. So let's go ahead and get into EG Pulse right now. Once again, we are here browsing our Mobile Music Pro Essentials pack, and we are again going to navigate here to our iOS folder, so we'll tap on iOS. And this time we'll navigate down to our EG Pulse Kits folder and tap on that. And here you will find all of our drum kits for EG Pulse. Now, unlike before, you don't actually have to copy these into a specific folder. You can copy these anywhere you want on your iPad. So we're going to go ahead and copy these files to a test folder on our iPad. So we're going to tap on Select and select each one of these files here, one by one. And then we'll tap on the More button in the bottom right-hand corner and click on Copy. Now that we have these files copied out of our sample pack, let's go ahead and paste them inside our iPad. So we'll tap on the On My iPad button in the left-hand side of the screen here, and we'll navigate down to our test folder that we created here called Test. There we go. We'll tap on Test, and we'll go ahead and paste these onto our iPad by long tapping, and then tapping on Paste. Now once we do have these files located on our iPad, to install them inside of EG Pulse, all we have to do is simply tap on them. So we're going to go ahead and install our hip hop kit first. So we'll tap on our hip hop kit, and that will bring up Elliott Garage. And immediately after the app is loaded, our sample pack is ready to go. So we can just start tapping on our pads right away. Alright, very cool. Now let's just double check that this has been installed by tapping on our save icon over here. That will bring up our dialog here with the kits, banks, and export screens. So let's tap on kits and scroll down to Mobile Music Pro. And here, as you can see, we have our newly installed kit, the MMP EP1 Hip Hop Kit. Now, as you can see, we do have the rest of our kits already installed, but for you guys to finish installing all of these kits, all you have to do is go back to your folder and once again tap on these kits one by one. And as soon as you do tap on one, it will open up the EG-Pulse app and immediately install the kit for you. Once again, you do want to make sure that you don't have segments currently installed for this process, and that's because these icons will actually turn from EG-Pulse icons into EG-Segments icons, opening up the app EG-Segments instead of EG-Pulse. But once all of your kits are installed, you can just go back and reinstall segments and have no further conflicts. And once again, that's pretty much all there is to installing our kits into this app. As you can see so far, it's been pretty simple, just pretty much copying and pasting files. Alright, the next app that we're going to import our samples into is called Beathawk by UVI Sound. Now, this one has a couple of extra steps more than the others, but nevertheless, it's still super simple to install. So let's go ahead and get started now. Once again, we are browsing our sample pack folder here, and once again, we will navigate to our all-important iOS folder. So we'll tap on the iOS folder, and we'll navigate to our Beathawk kits folder. And inside of here, you will find just this single zip file. So that is the file that we're going to copy. So we'll long tap on that file and then tap on copy. Now, just like the previous app, it doesn't actually matter where you copy this on your iPad. So we'll just copy this to our test folder once again. So we'll tap on the On My iPad folder on the far left-hand side under the Browse Location section here. And we'll navigate down to our test folder. Tap on Test. And we'll paste our file here by long tapping once and then tapping on Paste. Okay, now that we have our file located on our local iPad, let's go ahead and open up Beathawk. So we'll minimize this and navigate to our Groove Machines and Drums folder and tap on Beathawk. Okay, now we have Beathawk open in standalone mode here, and we have a brand new fresh project ready to go. And now what we'll do is tap on our project menu on the top left hand corner, so we'll tap on that. And then we'll tap on Load Project and or Kit. And we'll navigate to our User Library folder by tapping on User Library. Now, once in this folder, what we're going to do is tap on the User Library Options menu, which you can find just to the right of where it says Library. So we'll tap on that once. And now what we're going to do is import that zip file that we just copied. So we'll go down to Import File and tap on that. Now, I've already navigated to this test folder, but if you didn't, we can go back to the On My iPad folder and locate the zip file wherever you saved it. Like we said, we saved ours in a test folder, so we'll scroll down to Test and we'll tap on our test folder. And here is our zip file that we copied, so we'll tap on that once. And as you can see here, we have now imported this zip file into our user library. Now the next step, which you probably guessed, is to unzip that file. So we'll double tap on that file, and this will pop up our File dialog menu, and in here we're going to choose Unzip. Now we've unzipped all the folders inside of this beathawkkits.zip file, and they will be made available right here in our user library. Now you can actually unzip this file anywhere you want inside of your user library inside of Beathawk. But here we just put this in the root folder of our user library. So if we scroll up here, we can see we have all of our folders, our hip hop kit, house kit, pop kit, techno kit, trance kit, and trap kit. Now to load up one of these kits, all we have to do is browse to the folder. So once again, let's go to our hip hop kit. Tapping the folder once expands the contents of the folder here to the right, and as you can see there's only one file, which is a .song file. And all we have to do is tap on that, and then tap on Load Project. And now we instantly have access to that kit with all of the sounds placed right here on our pads. Alright, very cool. That's pretty much all there is to it here to install your kits inside of Beathawk. And the next app that we're going to take a look at to import our sounds into is Audiolayer. Now, Audiolayer by Veerson is an excellent sampling app. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to install those sounds now. So as always, we are here browsing our sample pack folder. And just like always, we're going to navigate to our iOS folder. So let's tap on that. And we're going to navigate to our Audiolayer kits folder now. So we'll tap on that. And here we have our import.zip file. So let's go ahead and copy that by long tapping it once and then tapping on copy. And now we're going to navigate to our Audiolayer folder on our iPad. So we'll tap on My iPad on the far left hand side, and we'll find our Audiolayer folder right here where we can tap that once. And we're going to paste the file right here into the root of the Audiolayer folder. So we'll long tap once and then tap Paste. And now let's extract this zip file by simply tapping on it once. So we'll do that now. And that created a folder called Import2, but what we want is we want to have all of these folders and files inside the import folder. So we'll go ahead inside of Import2 now and select these folders. We'll select both of them here and go to Copy. And now we'll go back to our Audiolayer root folder and go inside of our import folder and paste those folders inside of here. So we'll long tap once and tap paste. That'll just take a second, and now we have all of our instruments and sample files that Audiolayer needs to begin importing our instruments. But before we do that, let's do some house cleaning real quick and get rid of our import to folder. So we'll go ahead and long tap that and click delete. And we can also delete our import.zip file if we'd like as well. So we'll go ahead and long tap that and delete that as well. Now let's go back into our import folder and begin installing these instruments. All you have to do that is navigate to the instruments folder and begin tapping on the instruments one by one. So we'll just go ahead and tap on the first one now for you, the Synth Stab 1. We'll tap on that once. And that will go ahead and open up Audiolayer and have the preset ready to go. Once we do have our preset set up here inside of Audiolayer, we do actually still have to save it to make sure that it is available within Audiolayer across all of our other apps. So to do that, we will click on the disk icon at the top, and we'll go ahead and use the same name that it put in there by default, and tap on Save. Now if we tap on our presets, you'll see that the preset has been saved. And now we can use this anywhere Audiolayer is supported, including its AUV3 format. And just to make sure you guys got that, we'll go ahead and repeat that process one more time. We'll navigate back to our instrument folder here, and just tap on Synth Stab 2. And now we have our Synth Stab 2 pulled up, so let's go ahead and save our preset. So to do that, we will tap that save icon once more. And again, we'll use the same name here that it puts by default, and tap on Save. And now if we go to presets, we will see both of our Synth Stab instruments, both 1 and 2, ready to go. And that's pretty much all there is for Audiolayer. Just one tap and you're ready to go. And the next app that we'll be looking at to import our samples into is going to be Segments by Elliott Garage. Now Segments is a little bit different from Pulse, also by Elliott Garage, where Pulse is more like a normal drum machine, Segments is more like a sampler. So for that reason, we didn't actually put individual drum samples inside of Segments. Instead, we put in our drum loops, and created instruments out of our synth stabs, very similar to what we did with Audiolayer. So let's go ahead and get those installed now. So as always, we are here inside of our sample pack folder, and we're going to navigate to the all-important iOS folder. And now we'll go down to our segments folder here called Segments Kits. And we are going to copy these to our iPad. So let's go ahead and click Select, and then Select All. And now we'll go to More and tap on Copy. Now it doesn't actually matter where you copy these files to, you just need to have them right here on your local iPad. So for us, we're going to go ahead and throw these in our test folder. So now that we have them copied, we will navigate to the On My iPad folder and go ahead and scroll down and find our test folder. There it is. We'll tap on Test and we'll paste these in here now. We'll long tap and then tap Paste. And that'll just take 1 second here, and then all the files will be copied. Now to get these installed into Segments, all we actually have to do is tap on these one by one. So to demonstrate that, we'll install Drum Loop 1. And as you can see, that opened up Segments and automatically installed that preset. If we tap on our presets, we can see that it has been installed here. And just like Audiolayer, this is now available to Segments no matter where you use it, including an AUV3 format. So let's close out of that. And also, as you can see, we already have these sliced up ready to go, so you can just begin experimenting. And now let's install one of our synth stabs real quick. So we'll go back to our folder here, and we'll scroll down, and let's tap on Synth Stab 1. Now, just like Audiolayer, we should be able to play this synth stab across all of our keys. Alright, perfect. And we should now see this synth stab preset in our presets browser. So let's tap on that. And here it is now right underneath our drum loop. Alright, let's close out of that once more. And now to get the rest of these presets installed, you would simply repeat that process. And that's all there is, folks, to getting all these presets installed for Segments, both the drum loops and the synth stabs. Alright, the next app that we're going to begin importing our samples into is going to be Cubasis 2. Now we actually have a ton of different presets for Cubasis 3, but for Cubasis 2, we just have our drum kits supported. So for now, let's go ahead and dive into how we're going to install these drum kits for Cubasis 2. So as before, we do have our sample pack folder pulled up here, and what we're going to do is once again navigate to the all-important iOS folder. So we'll tap on iOS, and this time we'll navigate to our Cubasis 2 kits folder. So we'll tap on that. Now you can actually just copy this one single folder here inside of the Cubasis 2 directory, but if you do that, it will remove any additional instruments that you have previously installed. So because of that, we're actually just going to copy the instrument file instead of these directories. So let's go ahead and navigate to inside of our instruments folder, and then mini sampler, and then finally inside of our user folder. Like before, we'll go ahead and copy all these by tapping on the select button in the top right hand corner, and you can tap all these manually one by one, or you can tap on the select all button at the top. Once you have all your files selected, we'll then go to the more button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and once again tap on copy. Now that we have our files copied, we're going to navigate to our Cubasis 2 folder inside of our iPad. So to do that, we'll tap on the On My iPad folder here in the far left hand side, and then navigate to our Cubasis 2 folder here labeled Cubasis. So we'll tap on that, and go into our Instruments folder here, and then the Mini Sampler, and finally into our User folder. This is where all of your custom instruments will live that you've created with Cubasis's Mini Sampler. So we'll long tap here, and tap on Paste. And this will just take a couple seconds here. And now we have all 6 of our drum kits here copied and pasted and ready to go. So now we'll go ahead and open up Cubasis. Let that load for a second here. And now we have Cubasis 2 open with a brand new, fresh, blank project. So let's close out of our projects here. And what we're going to do now is add a new MIDI track so that we can then add our mini sampler instrument. So we'll go to the bottom of the screen and tap on Add, and then tap on MIDI. Now we'll tap on our instrument, and then tap on Instruments to expand all of our different instruments here. We'll hit the back button to get out of the microsonic, and then tap on our mini sampler icon. And now we have the choice of loading factory presets or user presets, and our drum kits will of course live in your user presets. So we'll tap on My Presets. And here we can see all 6 of our drum kits loaded, ready to rock. So we'll just tap on the hip hop kit, and that will load up our mini sampler instrument with our hip hop kit ready to go. So we can immediately begin tapping on our keys. Now if you'd like to see where we place those individual samples, you can tap on the E button here, and that will allow you to edit the instrument and either remove the current sounds that we have or add additional sounds. All of our mini sampler instruments for both Cubasis 2 and Cubasis 3 will have our sounds start at C1. This will ensure that the sounds will start at the beginning of most pad controllers. Alright, now let's close out of here. And to load up a different kit, all you simply do is tap it. So we can easily load up any one of our kits here. Alright, perfect. And now our drum kits are loaded up and ready to go for Cubasis 2. Okay, now finally we will be looking at Cubasis 3. Now there is a lot of stuff to go over here because we have drum kits, instruments, so we'll just take this nice and slow and only do one of these steps at a time. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the drum kits. So let's go ahead and get our drum kits installed for Cubasis 3. So just like before, we do have our sample pack folder pulled up, and we're going to navigate to our important iOS folder here. And then we're going to go to the Cubasis 3 kits folder, tap on that. And as we said, we do have both effects and instrument presets, but right now we're just going to worry about instruments. So we'll tap on Instruments, and we're going to go to our mini sampler here, and finally navigate to My Presets. Now once again, you can copy the entire folder over directly, but if you do that, it will remove any custom instruments that you've created in the past. So to avoid that, we're just going to copy the files themselves instead of the directories. So let's go ahead and select our drum kits. We'll tap the Select here in the top right hand corner, and select each one of our drum kits. For now, we'll bypass our synth stabs and just focus on our drum kits here, our 6 different drum kits. Now that we have those 6 kits selected, we can tap on the More button at the bottom right hand corner and tap on Copy. And this process will of course be very similar, almost identical to Cubasis 2. So just like with Cubasis 2, we'll navigate to our On My iPad folder, and instead of going into our Cubasis folder, we're going to go to our Cubasis 3 folder. So we'll tap on that. And you guessed it, go into our Instruments folder, and then the Mini Sampler, and finally tap on the My Presets folder. Now as you can see, we do have a few files in here from iPadBeatmaking.com. Once again, shout out to the guys over there, making fantastic videos and fantastic content. So we're going to paste these in here, so we'll go ahead and long tap, and then tap Paste. Now this will just take a quick second, and then we'll have all of our Mobile Music Pro kits here installed. Now that they're all here inside of the My Presets folder, let's go ahead and open up Cubasis 3. So we'll minimize that, and then tap on the Cubasis 3 icon. And this will just take a quick second, and then Cubasis will be loaded. Now here we have Cubasis 3 pulled up with a brand new, fresh, blank project. So just like we did with Cubasis 2, we'll go ahead and go to the bottom of the screen and tap on Add. And then we'll tap on MIDI. Now we've got a MIDI track added here, and we're going to select the instrument. And we'll tap the back button here to browse out of the microsonic presets, and instead navigate to the mini sampler. So we'll tap on the mini sampler. And just like with any instrument inside of Cubasis 2 or 3, we are presented with either factory presets or the My Presets folder. So let's navigate to My Presets. And here we have all 6 of our Mobile Music Pro drum kits ready to go. So we can just tap on Hip Hop Kit and begin playing. Now we're using our pad controller here, but of course you can pull up the old keys button here and then toggle either keys or pads so we can bring up our pad controller and we can just start tapping. So once again, very simple to get our sounds within these iPad apps here. Now that we have our drum kits installed, let's go ahead and install our mini sampler instruments. So we'll go ahead and close out of this here. And what we're going to do is navigate back to our Files app. Now let's navigate back to our sample pack folder wherever you guys have that installed. For us, it's on our server, so we'll navigate to that real quick. Alright, now we're back in our sample pack folder here, and we're going to navigate to our iOS folder. And once again, go to our Cubasis 3 kits folder. And then tap our instruments folder. Once again, going inside our mini sampler instrument, so we'll tap on the mini sampler folder. And finally, go to our My Presets folder. Now, since we already have our drum kits installed, it's time now to install our instruments. And that will be our 10 synthesizer stab files here, as you can see labeled 1 through 10. Now these particular mini sampler instruments were simply created from the synth stabs that comes in your Waves folder. So let's get these copied over to Cubasis 3. We'll once again click the select button at the top, and we'll select our 10 synth stab files. We'll just select these one at a time here, and then we'll go to the More options on the bottom right hand of the screen, and tap on Copy. And we're going to install these the same way that we installed the drum kits, by navigating to our On My iPad folder and then going inside our Cubasis 3 folder. Once we're in there, we will navigate to our Instruments folder and once again go to the Mini Sampler and then finally to the My Presets folder again. And here is our 6 drum kits, so let's paste in our 10 synth stabs. So we'll just scroll to the bottom and long tap once and then tap on Paste. This will just take a quick second, and then we'll have all 10 of our synth stab instruments installed ready to go. Once those files have been copied, make sure that you do close out of Cubasis 3 if you still had it open while these files have been copying. This will ensure that Cubasis 3 will show us the latest list of our instruments. So let's go to Cubasis 3 and close that out real quick and open it back up. And once Cubasis 3 opens, we'll navigate to that MIDI track that we previously created with our mini sampler instrument on it and tap on the instrument. And now, within our My Presets section here, make sure you are on the My Presets and not the Factory Presets, but inside of the My Presets section, we'll now see both our drum kits and our synth stabs. So we can just go ahead and select on one of those and start playing on your MIDI keyboard. And it's pretty much that simple. And just like in Cubasis 2, you can edit the instrument at any time by tapping on the Edit button here. And as you can see, we have taken our single synth stab file, which was originally recorded as a C5, and we have now dragged that out all the way from C1 through to C8. Alright, let's close out of there. So now we have both our drum kits and synth stab instruments installed inside of Cubasis 3. Okay, now that we have both our instrument presets and our drum presets installed for our mini sampler inside of Cubasis 3, we're now going to install some AUV3 presets specifically for the Octachron app. So if you're not familiar with that app, we can pull that up real quick and show you what that is. We have it up here on the App Store, and all it is a pretty standard drum sequencer in the form of an AUV3 effect. And we'll show you why we created these presets in just a second. So first, let's get these installed. So we'll navigate to our sample pack folder once more, and we will of course be diving into our iOS folder here. And once again, we'll go to our Cubasis 3 kits folder, but this time, instead of the instruments folder, we're going to go into the effects folder. And we only have the one folder in here for this one single app called Octachron, so let's tap on our Octachron folder, go into the My Presets, and we'll copy all these, so we'll click on the Select button in the top right hand corner, tap on Select All, and then tap on our More button on the bottom right hand corner, and tap on Copy. And now you probably guessed what we're going to do next. We're going to paste these inside of our Cubasis 3 folder. So let's navigate to our iPad folder by tapping on My iPad, and we'll scroll down to our Cubasis 3 folder. And this time, instead of navigating to our Instruments folder, we're going to instead navigate to our Effects folder. And once inside here, we'll find our Octachron folder here, and we'll tap on that. And then we'll tap on My Presets. And here's where we'll paste those files. So we'll long tap, and then tap on Paste. Now that these presets have been installed by simply copying and pasting them into this folder, we can now open up Cubasis 3 to see these. So let's do that now. We'll go ahead and close out of the App Store and open up Cubasis 3. And let's get rid of these previous tracks that we've created here. There we go. And what we're going to do is create a brand new MIDI track. So we'll tap on the Add button, and then we'll tap on MIDI, and we'll select our instrument here. And we're going to be pulling up our drum kits here inside of the mini sampler. So we'll go ahead and tap back to get out of the microsonic, and tap on the mini sampler, go to My Presets, and we'll select any one of our kits here. So let's go ahead and select the hip hop kit. Now that we have our kit selected, this is where the Octachron sequencer comes into play. Now you could just use the standard piano roll to enter in these notes. For example, we can click on Draw and drag a new MIDI region here, and just double tap on that. But as you can see, a standard piano roll is not very friendly for entering in drums. So instead, we're going to opt to use the Octachron drum sequencer. So we'll close out of this, and we'll erase this region here. And what we're going to do now is add a new MIDI effect. So to do that, we will expand the menu on the top left-hand side by tapping the arrow here. And then we'll navigate to our MIDI effects tab, and we'll tap to add effect. And let's scroll down here to Octachron. And we're going to go into the My Presets, which should have all those presets that we just copied and pasted. So let's tap on My Presets. And here we are with Octachron's presets that will correspond with our drum kits. So if you remember just a few seconds ago, we did select the hip hop drum kit. So because we did that, we're going to select the hip hop preset here. And now each one of these rows here will correspond with our sound. So for example, the kick will correspond to the kick and the snare. And we can show that really easily simply by tapping in the notes. So we'll just tap in a few kicks here, just like this, and maybe a few snares. And now we'll hit play. And that's how easy it is to enter notes inside of a drum sequencer like Octachron. So let's demonstrate this one more time with a different kit. So what we'll do is we'll pull up our drum kit here, and this time we're going to choose the house kit. So because we did choose our house drum kit, we're going to choose our corresponding house kit preset. Now we have our house kit preset inside of Octachron that will be sequencing our house drum kit inside of our mini sampler instrument. So we have our house kit preset selected here inside of Octachron, which means that all of our notes here will correspond to the correct sounds. So let's enter in a quick pattern once again. We'll tap in some kicks here. There we go. And we'll tap in some snares once more. And how about a couple hats? Let's do some closed hats, just like this. And we will now hit play. And we can even adjust our velocity really simple here to make the hats a little bit more realistic sounding. And hit play once again. Alright, perfect. Now, of course, you don't actually need to copy these Octachron presets to begin using all of our drum kits within Cubasis 3. You can just use the standard piano roll MIDI editor, but we find that using this drum sequencer allows us to enter in drum notes a lot faster. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, all of our sounds entered into all of the apps inside of your iPad. Alright, thank you, Yesterday Vortex. Hi, I'm Tomorrow Vortex, and I'm here because Yesterday Vortex did not finish his work. Honestly, I'm always cleaning up after this guy. Seriously. But hey guys, look, I just wanted to really quickly introduce our interview that we just had recently with Blind from Braille Audio. And just a super huge shout out to Blind, as he was the producer that helped us create this brand new sample pack. With over 20 years of sound design and music production experience, it was absolutely amazing working with him. And we're not going to show the whole interview here, as that was a 40-minute, plus interview. I did just want to show a couple of minutes of highlights of that video, and if you guys are interested, definitely check out the links in the description below for the link to the full version of this interview. So again, this is just a bit of a sample, so we hope you guys enjoy.
But when I found my first synthesizer, I was about 14, and it was the Yamaha CS1X. You can probably get them on eBay for $100 now. But it was really cheesy dance synthesizer,
Sure.
And kind of a rompler, I think, like sampled, but it was really cool. And I was using Cakewalk to like sequence it on the computer, and I was using Acid. Back then it was like 1.0 by Sonic Foundry, I think, before Sony bought them, and now somebody else has them, I think. But I was using all this first version software when I was 14, and that's when I realized I was like making music, and I was enjoying it more than programming, more than Photoshop, more than everything else. That's what started it, is like the software revolution on the computer. I envy the children of today because it's everything. You can do anything on the iPad that you could have done back then, plus more, and the connectivity and everything. And I have been wanting to get back into sound design on the iPad for a while now, just because it's such a great tool and there's a lot of unique apps, you know.
Absolutely. And this can kind of lead into our discussion now about how the sample pack kind of came to be,
Right.
because you have been experimenting on the iPad, doing some things with some expansion packs like with PureSynth, and those I believe have been pretty successful. I know that everybody that I know pretty much has those packs, so, and they've been
Yeah.
pretty happy with them. And we did a an exploration, a walkthrough of those on the channel, so make sure you check those out. I mean, those are just super high quality stuff, and again, available on our iPad. To have your type of expertise from the desktop world be able to come into the iPad world and produce things like those expansions for PureSynth, and now this amazing pack for Mobile Music Pro. I think it's really a testament to the iPad music community kind of taking over and getting bigger and bigger, luring in people like yourself.
And I actually did 5 sample packs or 6 sample packs for Novation's Launchpad app too.
That's right. Yep.
I know they're used in schools everywhere. They're like, make sure your vocals don't have any cuss words or anything. Like, kids use this stuff.
Absolutely.
So it's really a big market, and the fact that it was just being used in schools to teach music, like these apps are being used for a lot of stuff. It's accessible. Back in the 90s, like, you had to be elite. Like, you had to have money, you had to have knowledge, you had to have connections to make it in the music business. You still kind of do a little bit, but like,
but now anybody can get to be known.
Anybody has access to the tools now.
Yep.
What got me excited on the desktop originally was sound design companies like Vengeance, who has their own plugins and sample packs that were the big one for me. Like, my production leveled up 100% when I had good samples. Like, my music production was so much better once I went from like default cheesy sounds that came with all the devices to like fully designed sounds. It was like night and day. I couldn't believe it.
It's such a huge difference, and you really have to experience it yourself, I think, to really understand.
When you have someone developing tools for you that has that understanding and has the ear for it, like, you can trust me because I don't like crappy sounds. I try to make all the sounds usable from the get-go. You can trust like Braille Audio and Mobile Music Pro to provide those things for you because we want to use them ourselves. We're making tools for ourselves. And that's the key, I think.
Absolutely.
If you can make it good enough for you as a producer, then it'll be good enough for everyone.
All right, welcome back, everybody. As you can see behind me, we have all the red lights going because we are on red alert, ladies and gentlemen. And that's because today we did launch everything, including our Discord chat, our website, and our first ever Mobile Music Pro sample pack. Now, we hope that this video did help answer any questions that you had in installing the various iPad components of this sample pack. There was quite a few different things packed in here, from different instruments, different effects, and of course support for pretty much every major DAW on iOS. And of course, remember that if you do have any questions, you can always hit us up on our socials. And now with our official Discord chat launching today, you can definitely always find somebody in there if I'm not around. As we said, folks, today is an extremely exciting day for Mobile Music Pro, and we just can't thank you guys enough for being with us this early in the channel's life. We are certainly going to go on a journey together, and I just couldn't be more stoked with where the channel is headed and where mobile music production in general is headed as well. And just a final reminder, everybody, about our special 2-hour live stream coming up just in less than an hour right here on the same channel at youtube.com/mobilemusicpro. We are going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary and giving away a bunch of copies of Cubasis 3. And if you can't make the live stream, then definitely make sure to still check it out and leave us a comment below. And of course, if you are enjoying this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We really do enjoy interacting with all of you in the comments, forums, and now in our official Discord chat. And so, until next time, everybody, keep talking music, and we'll see you later. Remember that if you do have any questions, you can always hit us. If you're not watching this video live, If you're not watching this video, if you don't make it to the live stream, then definitely make sure to check it out and leave us a comment.